A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 13, powered by Tata Tele Business Services. I'm Prithvika Gupta, and tonight we are bringing you highlights from our first springboard of Season 13, hosted in Mumbai, centered on the theme Purpose, Progress and Prosperity. On Leaders of Tomorrow, we make it a point to spotlight young achievers who are excelling remarkably at their age. In this episode, we are proud to have yet another young entrepreneur. At just 25, Radhika Bajoria is recognized as one of LinkedIn's top 20 voices. She's spearheading Radically Yours, a platform that helps early-stage founders, especially women, raise global capital. On the show tonight, Radhika shares her journey with me and what it means to be a leader of tomorrow. Radhika, thank you so much for joining us today. And just to set a bit of context, on Leaders of Tomorrow, we often try and spotlight a lot of young achievers, a lot of young entrepreneurs. And we're so happy to have you and I'm so happy that we're ending off with your session. So let me just quickly start off with who you are. You're just 25. And at 25, when most people are figuring out their jobs, their careers, perhaps higher studies, you have set up your own business. You have set up a global investor-founder network. What made you plunge into entrepreneurship so early?
Firstly, thank you so much for having me. I think for me, age has always just been a number, you know. When I was 18, I started writing on LinkedIn and तभी मुझको मेरे parents भी बोलते थे कि क्या time pass कर रही हो तुम लिख रही हो LinkedIn पे, go get a job, earn some money, live a better life. Because after my graduation, I didn't have any money at all for 2 years. I was just writing on LinkedIn consistently. And in 2021, when I was 21, I got some 2 lakh followers, and the managing editor of LinkedIn India, he wrote to me saying that, you know, we're nominating you as one of the top voices of the nation. I was like, why? You know that self-doubt creeps in somehow or the other. And then he said that because you've been so consistent with your content, it's just that we want to give you that pedestal so that people see it that, okay, if youth also puts in that kind of consistency, they can achieve what they want. You know, age won't really be a factor in terms of you being on that level. So ever since then, I had this idea in my mind, you know, it's okay even if I was 80, 21 or now 25. I never really had that thing in my mind, although people made me think, a lot of men, by the way, made me think that I'm too young for the kind of business that I'm doing, which is into fundraising. I help a lot of women entrepreneurs raise money for their businesses. You know, in meeting rooms, when I would walk up, they would be like, oh, so aapke boss kitni der mein aa rahe hai? And I would be like, okay, I don't have any boss. I am the one who will be seeking. So people often took me as somebody's secretary or somebody's assistant. But that, I never let it come to my head. I was like, it's okay. Let my work speak for itself. आएगा जब एक दिन भी जब लोग बैठ के सुनेंगे शांति से सवाल कोई पूछेगा और you know, I'll be able to speak. So yeah, I think it's just that factor which kept me going.
So tell me about Radically Yours. So for example, say if I am a founder with a startup idea, how can your platform help me?
Yeah, so you know what we help here, I'm sure a lot of investment bankers would be there in the crowd. And I just met somebody outside जो मुझको बोला कि आजकल हर गली में कोई ना कोई बैंकर है जो आपको बोलता है अरे आपका फंडिंग मैं अरेंज करवा दूंगा तो फिर आप कैसे वैल्यू ऐड कर रहे हो तो I was like, you know, everybody here in India knows someone in India somehow. You know, India is like a small, knit, very close and warm community, and we're open to share our ideas and thoughts with everyone. How I am making an impact is by reaching out to people globally through my network on LinkedIn. I was like, ये 2 lakh followers तो बना ली अभी, but I don't want to like use it to post my selfies and get that validation on the post, you know, कि people are liking that. I was like, let me think beyond on how I can leverage this network. And that's how, you know, I'll give you an example. Just last October, I went to Sweden. I had no agenda, okay? I didn't know anybody in Sweden, but I just reached out to people who are working in different funds in Sweden saying that, okay, I'm visiting and this is my purpose. I help people raise money. I want India as a country which is growing to get more funding from outside, because everybody is looking at India as a global map right now. And you would be surprised that 8 out of 10 people actually replied to me saying that, yeah, we're happy to sit with you and have a chat. And now I'm actually putting some of the Swedish investors in touch with entrepreneurs here in Mumbai and making that connection happen, you know. And that could only happen because I thought it would be possible. And a lot of people told me, तुमने बस 1 साल कर लिया है कुछ तो तुमको लोग रिप्लाई करेंगे, यहाँ पे हम लोग 10 साल से काम कर रहे हैं, हमको रिप्लाईज नहीं आती, तुमको क्यों आएंगे? I was like, let it be, I'll just do it. And it's happening now. I'm successfully, thankfully, by God's grace, helping people raise money from outside.
So I understand you must be meeting a lot of early stage founders. Tell me, what are some of the funding challenges that they are facing right now?
I think we have a lot of capable founders in our country. In women also, we have so many of them. But the thing is, confidence is really a lagging indicator in today's times. And somehow Gen Z, which is our age group, we have more confidence even though we lack capability a little bit. So Naya, who is there, who I've also interviewed on my podcast, like she said, confidence is the number one criteria to start. And then you can build over the capability, build a team, get the team with the confidence and raise capital. So I was like, okay, अगर confidence है तो सब हो सकता है. But I think that is one thing, अगर एक चीज़ हम solve कर सकते हैं जो कि confidence है, तो I think we can raise much more capital for what we deserve really. Because I've interviewed like more than 70 plus global women investors. And the one common answer that they give me for the funding challenge is that women are not able to pitch for what they deserve. You know, somehow they're like, एक idea है, उनको पता है कि ये profitable होगा, but they will still be very conservative in saying that हाँ ये मैं कर लूँगी पर मुझे 5 साल लगेगा. Whereas a man would be like, ठीक है, उसको पता है कि उसको 10 साल लगेगा profitability में, फिर भी वो बोलेगा अरे 1 साल में तो मैं आपका return ही double कर दूँगा, you know. So that is the kind of difference that we are observing in behavior terms these days, and that's how it just boils down to your behavioral attributes, you know. I don't think so it's got to do anything with numbers or skills. It's all about your mental confidence levels, and that's the challenge.
Absolutely, and Radhika, you are super confident, and we are all seeing it. You are unabashedly speaking about experience, and thank you so much for that. But you're one of the top voices on LinkedIn, one of the top 20 voices on LinkedIn, and I must understand that you probably interact with a lot of global founders, global entrepreneurs. How do you build that trust? You know, you said age is never a barrier. So what is that you tell them, or what is it that you can, you know, how do you approach them? You know, it's just by way of advice to, you know, entrepreneurs as well.
It's a question that you asked me which will make me travel down the memory lane, because if I start telling my incidences of how I approach guests, people here will be shocked. Because I'll just give you one example. I love gate crashing events. By the way, today I was invited. So मैं घर जा रही थी मेरे जुहू में, and JW Marriott रास्ते में पड़ता है. तो मैंने देखा बाहर इतनी मीडिया क्यों खड़ी है, कुछ ना कुछ तो चल रहा है. I was like, ये अच्छा आइडिया है, जाके बात करो सेलिब्रिटी से, उनके PR मैनेजर से, उनको पॉडकास्ट पे बुलाओ, because personal touch, nothing can beat that. So I just gate crashed that. The security, by the way, stopped me. He's like, आप कौन हो? मैंने बोला हम स्पॉन्सर है, आपको पता नहीं है क्या, सुबह से यहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं. क्या आपने देखा नहीं, इसका मतलब मेरी गलती नहीं, आप मुझे जाने दो अंदर. And then he's like, नहीं आपके बॉस से मुझे बात करवाओ. So I called one of my friends who has a very a strong voice, एकदम manly voice. तो दिखना चाहिए ना कि बॉस बात कर रहे हैं. So then he said on call कि अरे भैया मैडम को अंदर आने दो, आपको आपकी नौकरी प्यारी नहीं है क्या? And then he was like really shocked and surprised, like आप जाइए sorry आपको रोका. So that's how I got in the event. And he actually thought I was an invitee at the event, so he graced me also with his words. And then he's like, okay, you come to our office and we'll have a meeting since you have so many ideas to collaborate on. And in that meeting, then we finally finalized some of the guests that I've gotten on my show, which is like Radhika Gupta of Edelweiss, Ghazal Alag of Mamaearth, and all these guests have come through him. And that only happened because I took that plunge of gate crashing into an event, confidently just speaking to the managing editor and telling him that I want this, please make it happen. So I think it's just one of the approaches of how I get guests. बाकी जो ताकि लोग cold emails करते हैं, LinkedIn पे लिखते हैं, वो भी करती हूँ मैं by the way. But this is something unique which I really wanted to share with everyone.
It's time for a quick break. Here we'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back to IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 13, powered by Tata Tele Business Services. You're watching highlights from our Mumbai Springboard, and I'm in conversation with Radhika Bajoria, founder Radically Yours.
Now tell me, you are also actively involved in increasing the representation of women in private equity, finance. Why is that so important for you?
Like I said, it's unfortunately still a very male dominant industry. And people still think when a woman enters a room that she is not the person who will be pitching. उनको लगता है यहाँ पे ये बस पिज़्ज़ा लाने के लिए या कॉफ़ी लाने के लिए है. And this is, by the way, actually told by people who come on my interview who are in this industry. I've interviewed Manusha Kirotra of Moelis in India. And she's actually told me that when she was hired at an analyst level and another man was hired at the same level as hers, all the job that she was given was to get coffee for the person. And at that same age group, the man was told कि अरे ये Excel sheet पढ़ो, इसका business पूरा understand करो. And now that boy, I don't know where he is, but this girl has actually become like the India head of Moelis, which is a big global US-based investment bank. So I really think that used to be the challenge. It still is in some parts, not so much though. But I think in private equity, more than that, it's really about selling your businesses. And like I said, women are more conservative in terms of pitching. But when it comes to growth stage businesses, like Neha was here, of fraternity, she sold her business to CultFit, and that could only happen because she had that right set of team members and leadership level, because she couldn't do it herself alone. And people are really facing challenges on hiring the right people at the leadership, level as a talent pool. And even the private equity funds that I've spoken to, they're like, बाकी सब तो ठीक है, इनका numbers हो सब, but इनके लोग में हम किसको CEO hire करें, किसको CEO hire करें, that's a big challenge. Because पता नहीं सब ब्रेनी लोग कॉन्फ्रेंसेज में आजकल बिजी है, तो काम करने के लिए आई डोंट नो वेयर आर द राइट पीपल. मतलब पीपल सिटिंग इन दिस रूम वुड ऑल्सो फेस सम और द अदर हायरिंग चैलेंज. कैपिटल तो चलो होगा तो वो एक साइड की बात है, बट hiring the talent is really a great challenge in today's time, and that's something the private equity funds are also facing with their portfolio companies right now.
So Radhika, you are an entrepreneur, you are a podcast host, you mentioned, you're a speaker as well. Tell me, these are like very diversified, ideas and portfolios. Like, how important is personal branding to you? And I'm coming from the point of view, in terms of our entrepreneurs watching the show today as well. How important should they take branding, personal branding for themselves?
I think the most important product that you should sell in today's time is your personal brand, because AI is going to take over all the things that you're doing, but it cannot take over you as a human. And people, if they're coming to you as a personal brand, they will always come to you for that. You cannot have a robot as your clone speak to someone and build that relationship, So even in times to come, you need to be very futuristic in thinking कि आज मैं जो वो कर रही हूँ, क्या वो 10 साल बाद भी टिकेगा या नहीं. And I really think most of the things will just vanish away, which we're doing manually. But the human, the emotion behind a human, that will never ever go away. And that's why even today, I used to work at a law firm, and they always told me, you're doing the wrong thing, thinking your personal brand is the bigger thing than anything else. And now they're suffering because they're like, clients कहाँ से लाए हम सब लोग मार्केट में बाहर जा रहे हैं, बोल रहे कि मुझको क्लाइंट चाहिए, but nobody will come to you if you're not a brand yourself, because so many people are giving you the same service. How are you different? And you can only be different if you have a personal brand. And I think content is the right way to go about in terms of creating your brand. And for me, it was LinkedIn which opened up doors to everything, which opened up doors to you when you reached out. And that's how I think it should be. I mean, I think only 1% of the people here make content. And I really urge everyone to do that in whatever industry you are in, because the kind of returns that you get is exponential. Like, people from around the globe can connect with you. You don't have to necessarily come here at a conference and network and share your cards. With internet, you can just reach anybody. You never know, you'll get a message from Elon Musk's team saying that, okay, you're doing a great job, we want to hire you. So it's just like a global door opener for you. And that's how I have personally really felt that if you're not using technology or are not on any social media platform, you're really losing out on a big way.
So you spoke about technology, social media content. Tell me, what are the other sectors, that maybe young entrepreneurs like yourself feel like, okay, these are the sectors that have the potential to really disrupt, in the next 5-6 years or so?
I think in healthcare, I'm really seeing a lot of disruption happen. Just today, I was speaking to a fund manager, and he was telling me about how so many new biotechnology companies are coming about in curing cancer and detecting every kind of cancer at an early stage just with a blood test. And it's like revolutionary when you think about it. And I think the kind of innovation that can come in healthcare will touch every human life in a way that we won't even imagine. Just today, also, I was reading that you will start having artificial wombs where you will have a robot as a surrogate who will produce your child. You won't have to give yourself that trouble or the pain to go through that. I also read that you will just have an eye drop, which if you put in your eye, you can cure your number. You don't have to go through that painful LASIK surgery, which is why, by the way, I'm waiting for that to come before I remove my glasses. But yeah, it's really happening. It's just that India is still catching up to that pace. It's already happened in the US. But the interesting and positive part about this is that people from the US, the investors out there, they are happy to come and support people here in India who has that idea of revolution. Even if it's on paper, they will come and support you. Like Neha was from Luma Fertility. Her idea on paper was given funding from investors like Sequoia, which takes decades to trust somebody. And it could only happen because she was solving something in healthcare, which was a big pain point for every customer going through an IVF journey. So I really think healthcare is the biggest sector going forward where you'll see many changes coming in.
Do you think there is a perfect pitch, because you work with a lot of investors, founders, do you think there is a way to actually gain trust of investors? Like a founder, maybe they should keep in mind a certain checklist, from your observation, your journey?
The trust comes through people, and you can build that people around you through great leadership team. I mean, no matter how good your idea is or vision is, if the investor doesn't see you having the right people to execute that vision, they'll be like, आज ही आपका motivation है, कल नहीं रहेगा क्योंकि आपके पास लोग ही नहीं है वो काम करने के लिए. So I really think whenever you start, have the right people to be there with you, because it's like a very tough, lonely, depressing journey. You need to have people who are like, ठीक है, if you're low, I will be with you in your low. If we are on the peak, we will be together on the peak celebrating success, So it's all about the people in this journey of entrepreneurship. I don't think so anything else can really, really beat that. I have started this alone, and I understand how difficult it gets and how lonely it is to just build this. But thankfully, I have good team members who take the ownership of the company as their own. And just yesterday, somebody told me this very interesting line that when the CEO becomes like the employee of the organization and the employees become like the CEO of the organization, that's when a truly successful enterprise is built for years and years to come.
Absolutely. And as we are wrapping up this very wonderful conversation, a salute to the spirit of Gen Z and young entrepreneurs and leaders of tomorrow. Tell me, what is the larger vision for you, Radhika? Where do you see radically yours, in the next few years, and what else do you want to do with your company?
I don't like to usually plan too much in decades, because I really think that life is too unpredictable and fragile to do that. And if you think too much about the future, you don't end up enjoying the small joys of the present, and you compromise on your family, on your friends, everything. And I've realized that the hard way after losing everything. So for me, it would be to really live in this very moment today and appreciate what I have and not just be regretful of what I could have had. So I just want to be grateful about Radically Yours, about the stories I'm sharing, and just be very focused on one thing. I don't want to do too many things and become jack of all and master of none. Just want to master the art of storytelling, which I'm anyways doing since the time I started writing on LinkedIn in 2018 to now when I'm running a podcast show with stories of women leaders globally.
I can't believe she's 25. But Radhika, this was a fantastic chat. Thank you so much for your time. Very insightful. Thank you so much.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 13, powered by Tata Tele Business Services. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.